Hi there, my name is Tim. I'm a producer, singer, songwriter from San Jose, California. And during this crazy time, I see a lot of my friends who are musicians streaming live content out on the interwebs every day, which is awesome and giving me life. And so I thought I would just do some tinkering on my own about how to make some of these live streams sound good, because that's the producer in me and the nerd in me who loves this stuff, and share some of my findings with my community and see if it just helps. Obviously, a lot of you are just plopping your phone in the middle of the room starting to record. That's been fantastic. But, you know, we all get spoiled when we go out and play places with cool sound setups and when we go to studios and record cool stuff. So I thought I would share some of my findings on how we could make our home live stream sound a little bit better. So I'm going to go through a couple different ways of live streaming. One with your phone, one with your computer using your interface, and another one if you want to add a little effects. And in all cases, I'm going to just use some pretty basic gear. I'm not going to use really fancy stuff that hopefully a lot of you may already have. So we'll start with phone recording. Now, phone recording just with the phone microphone, we've all been doing it. It's great. We know how it works. It's awesome. But you may not have known that you can take your USB audio interface and plug it into your phone. So I use an iPhone, and so I found a Lightning to USB adapter that lets me plug my Scarlett 2-channel interface into my phone, and then I can use two microphones at the same time, which is great for singer-songwriters, one for my vocals, one for my guitar. So you can also plug your DI from the guitar into the second input if you want to. I prefer a microphone, just a more natural sound. And I happen to have two microphones, so I'll use two microphones. But you can give this a shot with any two microphones that you have and your USB interface and this one adapter that you need to pick up and that I got off of Amazon. It's that Lightning to USB adapter. So let's take a look at how that works. So this is the view from my actual phone when I'm doing the live stream. I want to make sure it's just posting to my timeline only. Since this is a test, I'll call it a test, and then I'll push the button when I'm ready to go. I've already dialed in the levels on my interface kind of where I want them, and it's plugged in through that Lightning port directly into my phone. I just can't show you because I'm filming with the phone. So let's see what the actual live stream sounded like. I seem to recognize the face. Haunting, familiar, yeah. I can't seem to place it. Cannot find the candle of thought to write your name. Lifetimes are catching up with me. So if you want to try to get a sound that's not, you know, like the Beatles with the vocals on one side and the guitar on another side, you'll need to use something else. And so a lot of us may just want to use our computers to live stream to Facebook. So here's my Facebook page. I'm going to go ahead and start a live stream here from the live video box in my posting box here. And make sure my webcam is the default input and my Scarlett is the default input for audio. This is a test stream, so I'm going to make sure it only appears on my feed. I give it a test name so I can find it later. Remember, everything here is now plugged into my computer instead of my phone. Go ahead and go live. And let's see what this one sounds like on the live stream. I seem to recognize the face. Memories like fingerprints are slowly erasing. Cannot find the candle of thought to light your name. Lifetimes are catching up with me. So for some reason, the Facebook web browser encoder that's encoding the live stream sounds terrible. I don't know what you thought of the sound, but it compresses the two different channels, and like the guitar seems to kind of fade in and out, and just the whatever encoder they're using to encode their live stream using the web browser is just, in my opinion, horrible. So I tried to find a better way to do that. There's a free piece of software called OBS. I think it's Open Broadcasting Software or something like that. I forget what it stands for. But OBS is a free piece of software that lets you stream to any source, Facebook being one of them, using their software instead. It's got a lot of advanced settings in it, and is really kind of hard to get up and running. So what I thought I would do is walk you through the steps of getting OBS up and running for a basic stream, just using your interface, vocals and microphone, and getting it to Facebook. So we'll go through that next and see how that sounds. So when you first open OBS, it's all blank and it doesn't have anything set up for you. There's nothing in the video window, nothing in the audio, so you have to set it up yourself. So let's start by adding a new source for video capture, which will add the video component. This will be from my webcam, which is just on my computer. I'm going to not use the preset, which is 720p. I want to do a little higher quality, so I'm going to flip it to 1080p. You also have to enter a frame rate, so I'll do 30 frames per second. Click OK. It'll show you the video as a little preview here, but it's kind of cropped, so you got to stretch it out. You can make it fit full screen by right-clicking on the video area, change the transform to fit to screen, and it'll fit the whole thing to the screen. So now I've got the video set up, looking good. Now I got to get the audio input also set up, so I'll do another addition here for a source of an audio input capture. Again, create a new one, call it whatever you want. And from the devices that I have connected, I'm going to choose my Scarlett, which is the audio input that I want. And there it is. So the audio input capture seems to be working great. I'm checking the microphones, and microphone 1 is working, and microphone 2, oh, wait a minute, it's coming in only one channel at a time. So once again, I've got the problem where it's one microphone in the left channel, one microphone in the right channel. There is a setting here under Advanced Audio Properties where I can flip this to mono, which will make sure that both mics are going into both channels. And now when I check my microphone, it's equal in both the left and right channel. It's exactly what I want. So now I've got the audio balance the way that I like. Now to broadcast from OBS into Facebook, you need to do a live video stream a little bit differently. Instead of using the camera on your computer, you click this connect button. And the connect button gives you a stream key. And the stream key is what OBS needs in order to send your live stream from OBS here to Facebook. So to get that, you go into the settings box in OBS, click on stream, select Facebook Live as your service that you're going to use, and paste the stream key in right here in this box. Click OK. And then when you click the Start Streaming button, it'll actually find Facebook and start streaming on that page that you had just started setting up. You can see that lights are turning green, things are connecting. When I minimize OBS here and look at my Facebook window in the background. Now, this is a bug in Facebook that you can't see the preview. You're supposed to be able to see the preview. It doesn't always work, but it will show up when you go live. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my little test things, make sure it's only broadcasting to me, just like before. And I will go live. And after it goes live, a couple seconds of buffering here, you should see your preview window, what the actual live stream looks like. And you can go ahead and start playing. So let's go see what this one sounds like on the actual live stream. I seem to recognize your face. Memories like fingerprints are slowly raising. Cannot find the candle of thought to light your name. Lifetimes are catching up with me. So I really like the sound of the encoders on OBS much better than the encoders on the Facebook web browser or even the Facebook mobile phone. So I definitely think this is an improvement over where we were before. I think the last thing that I want to talk about, and this is super extra credit, I mean, this is just me being super extra, is like, I like to put a little bit of production into the sound. Like those are pretty dry vocals, pretty dry guitar. I'd like to get just a touch of reverb, you know, as if I was off of a mixing board in a live venue or something like that, just to give it a little bit of a polish, maybe a little bit of compression. Now, I don't have a lot of, I'm not going to use any outboard gear to do this. So how can I kind of hack the software together to do this and do it free? So I'm a Mac user. I have GarageBand. I know GarageBand has all of these things in it. So how can I get my microphones through GarageBand, use some of their effects, and then into OBS? And that's what we're going to walk through next. So this is just a standard GarageBand setup for two mics, a vocal input mic and a guitar mic going through my Scarlett interface. Even if I was to turn on monitoring for both of these, though, it'll only monitor the track that's active, so I can't hear them both simultaneously. The way to do that is to record enable both of them at the same time. So you need to right click here and go to configure track header, enable the record button. And now you can see the record button for both. Make sure they're both enabled to record. You don't actually have to record, but this is what lets you hear it. Then down here, you can add all the fun stuff from GarageBand, the compressors, the EQs, the reverb and echo that you want to add to the track to give it a little bit of polish. And this is where I would clean them both up. Now here's the secret sauce to get GarageBand to be an input to OBS. You'll need to change your audio input from your Scarlett interface to a new piece of software called Loopback Audio. I'll put the URL right here. Loopback is a piece of software that lets you take anything in your computer and route it to anything else. And what we're going to do in this case is route GarageBand to be the input to OBS. So when you open up Loopback, you need to go to the sources menu up here and add GarageBand as an audio source by itself. Very easy to do. If GarageBand is running, it should just show up in the list. You can select GarageBand, and you'll see that the left and right channels with those little green wires there are connected already to channels 1 and 2 and the output channels of this Loopback software. So it should be good to go since I've already selected Loopback as the audio input in OBS. So after checking the levels, everything looks okay. I'm going to click Start Streaming and set up another test stream here. Again, remember that this preview is a bug, but this is my GarageBand test. It'll only stream on my page. Nobody else can see it but me. And let's go ahead and click Go Live. Wait for that preview to show up. And then let's flip over to the actual live stream and see what this sounds like now. I seem to recognize your face, haunting, familiar yet I can't seem to place it. Cannot find a candle of thought to light your name. Lifetimes are catching up with me. All right, so that one didn't sound way different, but it had a little touch of polish on it that was a little bit nicer if you want to go that extra mile. There's other ways to do this, like if you use audio interfaces like the Apollo Twin or any of the Apollo series that lets you drop effects right into the box itself using the Unison stuff. You can absolutely do all that, and that will work if you have a more advanced interface. But if you just have a basic interface like the Scarlett and want to use the cool effects in GarageBand or some other tool, that's one way you can kind of route those through just for fun. It's a little bit overkill. It's the nerd in me that had to figure out how to make it work, but it's fun. So hopefully between some of these steps, you've figured out that, hey, I can make my home streaming setup sound a little bit better with just a couple mics in my interface. And I can go out there, get some more gigs, put up those virtual tip jars and keep making the world a better place, even when it gets super crazy out there. Anyway, thanks a bunch. Hope you found this helpful. Leave comments below if you want me to try to figure out anything.